I don't think I do it.
But Arsenal started like a house on fire. Signing number 2 for this new era. It's Judgment Day, people. Yeah! What did your boy tell you? It was never in doubt. Never in doubt. Don't believe in any drugs, I believe I'm self-made, yeah. Hello people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show, and it's time for another episode of the Late Night Leeds, which is slowly becoming the Andrea and Joe show because, of course, I have got Andrea with me again. Listen, before we bring him in, make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and, of course, hit that notification bell. First and foremost, we're going to be chatting about, obviously, the news that came out this evening, or not this evening. It's honestly, this day has been a bit of a mad one. It's already, I've already spoken about it, but we're going to get Andrea's thoughts on Andrea, and then we're going to be chatting about the news that Big Sam is going to be no more. If you're not aware, the Telegraph did a little piece earlier on to say that Sam Allardyce has been told that he won't be managing next season. Big up to your man JT in the house as well. If you're free, drop me a WhatsApp. We'll get your thoughts on it as well. You might as well join us, brother, if you are free. Right, without further ado, let's bring in Andrea. How you doing, my man? Are you okay?
Yeah, okay. It was a very long day for everybody, I think. So, but I'm okay. I'm fine. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, good.
And it is a bank holiday tomorrow in Italy, so
she was saying
we're fine. Yeah.
Oh, have you seen? Did you see what's been happening to Anthony Taylor in Roma with the fans attacking him?
Yeah. So I saw that previously. Not good scenes. Not a good picture for Italian football. I expected, honestly, Roma to speak out on that, make a statement on that, condemning what happened, but they haven't commented yet, and I think it's not a bad picture for Italian a good picture for Italian football, obviously, and really they should speak and condemn what happened at the airport, because his daughter was terrified. If you look at the video, his family members had to fight against the fans that were screaming and hurling abuse towards him. So
it's not acceptable, is it?
Not
Definitely
acceptable.
not. Definitely not. Right, mate. Okay, this morning, I don't know what time it was in Italy, but it was pretty early today. Some great reporting from The Athletic, I must say, where they discovered basically that Andrea Radrizzani had tried to leverage Ellen Road as a way of being able to acquire Sampdoria, or I guess prove to the bank that he would be able to pay back the loan, because he basically was willing to put Ellen Road as collateral. It was going to be initially a 2-year loan, but could then be extended to 10 years, I believe, at the time, if indeed, obviously, he didn't make the repayments in that time. I said my piece earlier on, for me, as the graphic behind us shows, Rad's out. I want him gone now more than ever, because to put in the future of Leeds United at risk, potentially, by putting something like as important as Ellen Road basically on the chopping block so that he could go and acquire a new football club. And it's also against the backdrop of Leeds United being relegated as well. That makes it, if you could make it worse, that makes it 10 times worse, the fact that he was doing this whilst we were being relegated. So, Andrea, just what's your thoughts and what's been the general opinion in Italy? I know you shared with me earlier on an Italian publication that you kindly translated for me and explained what was being said. But what's been your thoughts and obviously the reaction over in Italy to this news?
Well, as a Leeds fan, I think he has to go. There's no turning back. Even if we get promoted back to the Premier League, which is very unlikely at the minute, I won't change my opinion. This is not good, not fair. You can't play with the fans.
No.
Putting the club stadium as a guarantee in order to secure a bond loan to acquire another club. Really, is it real? I'm speechless. I don't know what to say actually, but because really there's no turning back. to this point, especially because yesterday he published that statement saying we, of course, can bounce back. We can trying to rebuild the relationship with the fans, obviously, because he's staying around. He's obviously staying next season, as we said yesterday. And today, this news came out. And by the way, great reporting from Alan Crafton and Philae. So where's the trust now? How can we trust him?
Yeah.
I have no trust in him anymore. Yeah. I had a good opinion on him at the beginning of his tenure with Leeds United.
I think we all did for sure.
Yeah, but he tarnished that now. Yeah. He's completely that opinion is completely vanished because after what happened, especially after last February 2022, the way the club is run right now, there's no turning back. He has erased all the good memories that we have with him.
Yeah,
there's no turning back, and this is not how an owner of a football club should behave, I think.
No,
and should of course run and treat the club stadium as an asset of another company, Leeds United Limited, and especially not informing his business partners.
That's the worst, eh? Like,
how can they trust him?
I know. That is so mad that nobody
especially
knew.
The 49ers.
Yeah,
especially
exactly.
The 49ers.
Exactly.
Because they have a 22 stake in Leeds United Limited, the company owning the stadium. Yeah. So, hypothesis: if someone comes and makes an offer in order to acquire Leeds United, not the 49ers, not Rads, of course, because he's already the majority owner. Mm-hmm. And another buyer comes and wants to buy Leeds United. He has to deal with him and negotiate for the club on one side and negotiate for the stadium to the other side. He used to say at the beginning of his term when he acquired Ellen Road to Greenfield, and then with the other company now, and Road Limited. The only place for us, for us is from a song from the FA Cup final in 1972. It means something to Leeds fans. It's not a slogan. It's not a PR slogan. A marketing stunt.
Yeah,
that means something. It has to be respected. Really, I'm raging actually. You always see very, very composed and everything, but inside I'm raging as a fan.
Yeah. Yes, I was exactly the same this morning. I was losing my shit as I was like typing it up, getting ready, saying, right, I can't wait to speak on it. I think what really made me laugh as well, because if you don't laugh, you'll cry. I think, sometimes you just think, oh my God, like, how's it got to this? Was the fact that when he was asked about it, his reaction was, what I do with my companies is none of your business. And then he said, you're trying to turn the Leeds fans against me. It's not nice. And it's like, you did that. No one else did that.
Exactly. When you own a football club, you should expect good things where you're doing when you're running properly a club, and critics when you're making mistakes. It's both sides of the medal,
Of course.
Is ups and downs. Is you have to expect and accept criticism when it's due, and be satisfied, of course. Be happy when you're praised. It's the both sides. You can get just the praise. You have to face the criticism, accept it, and apologize if needed. And especially the thing you referred to when he said to Alan Crafton, "You are not informed. You're not informed well because the deal at Sampdoria was done by JUSTJOE." Like I tweeted, the Sampdoria board, when they accepted the preliminary agreement on the 27th of May. If you read the statement, it's on the Sampdoria website.
Yeah,
it says the offer made by JUSTJOE Capital and Acer. Both. So what is he saying? I don't get it. Why? Why is he saying a thing that is obviously explained properly on the Sampdoria website just because it is written in Italian? There's people speak multiple languages.
Yeah.
Of course, and there's Google Translate too, obviously. So, I don't know why he's acting like that at the minute.
Yeah, no,
I don't get it.
Yeah, I have to bring this up because I'm a massive Star Wars fan, and Tom Bennett made me laugh when Anakin's going, "You turned her against me." when he's turning into
Mustafa,
Darth.
Mustafa, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, it's mad. What's been the general opinion in Italy then of this news? I guess because I assume if I'm a Sampdoria fan, yes, I'm happy that we're no longer getting a point deduction, and he's bought our football.
No,
club,
they're getting a point deduction.
They're still getting one.
They're still getting because they
Right.
they haven't paid the salaries in time.
Okay.
Because they were still negotiating the deal, of course, when the deadline was approaching on the 30th of May. So they will get a 40-point deduction anyway at the start of next Serie B season. But reports in Italy are saying that Rads is trying to negotiate a lower point deduction or even no point deduction because now they can assure at Sampdoria that they have the funds to pay the salaries. They paid the salaries of the women's team, because otherwise the women's team that finished second from last place. So they avoided the relegation in the last day of the season. Parma went down. If they would have got the point deduction, they would have been relegated.
Okay.
So it would have been 3 relegation for him in a season practically.
Wow.
And they paid those salaries first, the salaries of the women's team. So they avoided the relegation, and they paid the IRPEF, which is a tax from in Italy that you have to pay every now and then. There's a specific timeline where you have to pay there's this specific tax, or you're in sanctions from the ministry, of course, or for directly for the financial board, of course, running the controls in Italy. So they paid those salaries, but they weren't able to pay in time the salaries of the men's team. So they will get a point deduction anyway, and he will try to negotiate the deal. There's multiple reports actually today about answering your question. The Sampdoria fans, actually, I read some of the comments under the articles covering it and reporting what the Athletic said here in Italy, of course, from some Italian media outlets, and Genoa especially based. It's Genoa-based outlets. Mm-hmm. And the comments were pro Rads, actually. They were saying that the press was trying to
turn him against me.
Yeah, to try to put him under a bad light, to picture him in a bad way. Of course, now you have to understand that Sampdoria fans have had faced for a very long time disappearance. So right now they are very happy. They're over the moon. The club has been rescued. So of course, everything you might say to them right now, even facts like the Athletic said. Some, of course, said from bad to worse.
Yeah.
But the majority said, fake news, you're depicting me in a bad way. You're trying to exploit the situation, always trying to make up news about Sampdoria. But the main media outlets, actually, especially, is Secolo Decimonono, which is the main... it is a national newspaper in Italy, but it covers mainly the region of Liguria. And it is national headquarters are based in Genoa. So it is really well connected with both Genoa and Sampdoria. I listened to an interview of one of the reporters, Damiano Basso, speaking this morning, and he said that the actual situation is that Rads will actually be in charge of the sporting side of Sampdoria. So it will be the same like it is right now, the situation at Leeds, where he made all the appointments, supported Horta, while the 49ers focus on the marketing and stadium expansion plan in recent years. While his business partner, the frontman of JUSTJOE Capital, Matteo Manfredi, will be in charge of the financial part. So the club will be divided, the areas of the club will be divided by the two of them, Rads with the sporting side and Manfredi with the financial side. And another report,
am I right in saying, just on Manfredi, he didn't know about the leverage either, right?
I don't know, actually, honestly, about this, because the reports of the Athletic were, of course, focused on the Leeds United side of it. I think he knew about it, actually, because, the funds that we were trying to secure in order to complete the Sampdoria deal were required from the board in order to activate the process of the bond loan first, and then they're increasing the capital by the Sampdoria board.
Okay.
So that funds had to be, of course, found by both JUSTJOE and Acer, because it's a single group making the bid. So I think probably he should have known. He would have known. Okay. But it is strange because they are handling him the financial part of Sampdoria, but actually, if you look at the company's house, he is a director at Football Capital, which is a football sporting agency based in London with the financial, the legal headquarters based in London, registered in the company's house. And Rad was in that company too previously. Now he's not there anymore. So they worked together previously in this football agency. If you go to the website, they have some players they cover their interests. Their interests. Yeah, probably he would have known anyway. Yeah, it's a single consortium, so a single group, single bid.
Right. Okay. It all just seems, dare I say it, a little bit, I don't know if this translates, but like crooks, like crooks, criminals.
Well, I don't know. They're trying to use all the tools available to them in in this kind of situation, because we have to remember Sampdoria had opened a composition crisis procedure with the Tribunal of Genoa, so in March. So according to that procedure, for 120 days, no bankruptcy petition can be presented to the tribunal. Okay. And the opening of that procedure made sure that they were able to make their bid. Of course, and then jump in, rescue Sampdoria, because the period is not ended yet. So no bankruptcy petitions could have been presented during these recent weeks, and they came practically at the last minute at the buzzer and saved the club by disappearance, because otherwise the period would have ended if there were no offers, no bids to rescue the club, or no accepted offers by Ferrer and his trustee. The club would probably be declared in the coming months bankrupt and excluded from all the Italian leagues, and would have had to restart from the first year Serie D with a new name, because they had to reacquire it by a judicial auction the batch 2, the Sampdoria batch 2.
Oh wow! Because it's quite interesting, isn't it? Because it's clear that for some time now, Radrizzani's tried to get a foothold in Italian football somewhere, because he tried to get I don't know if I pronounce it, but Salernitana, is it?
Salernitana, in the south. Pescara, he was linked to Pescara, he was linked to Inter. With those clubs. So about this actually. Yeah, I read again the statement from Matteo Manfredi that he published on May the 21, speaking to El Secolo Decimonono. Okay. And he said, we were following Sampdoria since 2018. So it was a deal. They were looking for Italian clubs since 2018. Yeah, I assume at this point. Yeah, and they found Sampdoria. Given their current situation, of course.
Yeah, it is quite interesting, isn't it? Like he's clearly been trying to dip his toe in the water in Italian football in some way. So I guess, for me, it's almost like his position is untenable now. Like, where do we go from here? And maybe, do you still think by the time the 4th of August comes, when Leeds United kick off their championship season, do you think that Andrea will still be the owner of the football club?
Yeah, I think so. Unless the 49ers, given what happened recently, especially about London Road, I don't know how they'll still be able to do business with him as a majority owner. Because he didn't even inform them about what he was trying to do. Yeah. So they might be raging right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, also, Angus Kinnear too.
Can you imagine when they got the phone call from Adam Crafton, etc., to say, "Oh, can you give us your opinion on this?" And then they were like, "What are you talking about? We don't know what you mean," you know. So it's
unbelievable, mental.
It's mad. It is mad. We'll have to wait and see.
Situation.
It is. I'm just going to bring in Mr. JT here. JT, Andrea.
What's going on,
Andrea,
man? Andrea,
JT.
is your name Andrea? Sorry.
Yeah. The same as Radrizzani. Yeah.
How is everything, man?
Yeah, everything good. You?
Yeah,
everything going fine.
Yeah. What part of Italy are you from? Sorry if
from the north, from the north, west of Bologna, south of Milan.
My dad was born in Milan, funnily enough. So
you're of Italian.
Instant connection. Great minds think alike. Clearly. How are you, Joe? Anyway, how is everything?
All good, man. All good. The football club and what's been happening over the it's mental, mate. It's mental. Like, give me the JT opinion on what's
JT. I don't think you want the JT opinion. You guys, and you said it before. You seem to have this opinion that I'm just overly positive all the time. There's always a positive spin and a little feng shui. The reason why I said it before, the reason why I came on here every week and I was saying, "Oh, we're going to beat these guys. We're going to beat them," because I was enjoying it in the moment. You know, I hadn't experienced Premier League football in my life, and I was enjoying it while it was there. I hoped that it would be so much longer, and it just sucks, man. I went to one game with my dad in the Premier League. We'd spoken about it my entire life, all these games, all these things. I went to one game and we're already back down in the Championship. I told you what was going to happen if I had to reinstall EFL on Quest. There was going to be serious problems. Thankfully, I think Channel 5 or whoever heard that and managed to quickly scoop the highlights over to their channel, so that didn't have to happen. But it's just heartbreaking, man, that they showed. It's heartbreaking enough to go down, but to go down and show zilch fight, to just roll over in the last two games the way we did, it's just humiliating to the point where I didn't even have that many emotions. Like going into the final game last year, I was bricking it. I was absolutely shitting it. This year, I was already like half resigned to the fact we're after that West Ham.
It just never felt like we were going to stay up at any point, did it? Really?
No, I mean I kind of did before the West Ham game when it was in our hands. I had like it was more hope than belief, if anything. But after dropping those points to Newcastle, it was like, I mean, ever since the Leicester game, really. But then we brought Big Sam in.
Unbelievable. The Leicester game was unbelievable, really. The in-game management from Gracia back then. It was mental. It was mental, and really.
And that Bamford miss.
We sat back with the war game, waiting and defending the first goal, and then we conceded.
But you said it yourself there, that Bamford miss as well. That I don't want to lump
blame it all on him. No, I get that.
Not my kind of style. But I mean, at the end of the day, huge amounts of blame does have to go on his shoulders, because as the number 9, football is such fine margins. You saw it when City beat Liverpool for the league. John Stone clears the ball off the line, and it's like literally 10 millimeters away from going completely over the line. That wins them the title. You have a huge chance against Leicester. All you have to do, 2 yards out, slot it in. You have a huge opportunity with a penalty against Newcastle, a huge opportunity with a penalty against Arsenal. You miss those chances. You miss those big chances, and that comes to cost you. If he scores that goal against Leicester, if he scores that goal against Newcastle, that's 4 extra points.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, 4 extra points with the tally we went on still wouldn't have kept us up, but it would have been different momentum, different feeling. We would have probably stayed up had he scored those couple of goals.
Probably.
What did you think? What did you guys think of Sam then after all the dust is settled? Did you guys think it was a good move?
I'm just gonna flash this up now, and we'll get into it, because this is the Daily Telegraph article that was published earlier on to say that he will be leaving. This was at 9:22 p.m. Obviously, the meeting went ahead today. I think it was supposed to be lunchtime, but obviously with all the news coming out about Andrea and stuff, Angus was probably having to field numerous phone calls. You can just imagine Big Sam sat in the waiting room like that. Is he ready to see me yet? So yeah, it's come out basically to say that he's going to be leaving. He had the meeting and basically they've said that, let's have a look. Allardyce revealed he would speak to the club after the season to see whether they were aligned with each other, which did not rule out the possibility of staying beyond his 25 days in charge. But Leeds are now set to look for a new appointment as head coach as they plot a way back to the top flight. They are also considering whether they need to appoint a new director of football after Victor Orta left the club during the changes during the final part of the season. So, Big Sam, thoughts? First and foremost, I guess, do we believe it's the right decision to move him on?
Yeah, surely.
Yeah.
Surely we need a new start, new manager, a nuclear project, someone that can take us forward with a suitable style of play. We're now accustomed to at Leeds. Maybe you surely have read the links to Corberan, the Corberan rumors, because I think they're coming out because he's always been looked at as the successor of Bielsa, like a Bielsa apprentice. So, in my opinion, it will be a good shout because he already knows the place. But on the other hand, I'm not sure because we need maybe a manager that has already won the league, like Brendan Rodgers. But I'm thinking, I think, like you said on one of the other episodes of the show, Joe, he's probably waiting for a Premier League job. Brendan Rodgers. It will be the perfect fit because he's already won it won the playoffs, of course, at Swansea. And did good things with Liverpool, did good things at Celtic, of course, very, very good things at Celtic.
Yeah.
Leicester has been hugely criticized recently, but he won
an FA Cup, man.
He won the Community Shield. They returned to Europe. He even battled for a Champions League place.
Did bottle the Champions League a couple of seasons in a row, didn't he?
Exactly. Yeah. But he's a top. Looking at the Champions, he will be a top manager, of course. But
what kind of style of play would you be looking for, Andrea? Because I know me and Joe are Bielsa fanboys here, so there's we want to see like a co-brand, some free flowing, expansive, hard-game football. Do you think that's right, or with our squad, do you think more of a pragmatic style would be more effective?
I think the same of you because I'm a very big admirer, of course, of Marcelo, of Bielsa style of football, very recognizable. It kind of became like not just Bielsa football, but Leeds style of football.
Yeah, exactly.
When he was replaced by Marsh first, and then all the others, we always tried to compare their style of football, especially the narrow style of Jesse Marsh, with the one of Bielsa.
Yeah.
So I would like that, but looking at our squad right now, I think a pragmatic manager will be better because we don't have at the back, especially, and in midfield, players that can do both phases properly. For example, you all seen recently. Now McKennie, of course, is going back to Juve, but when we played with McKennie and Roca, they stayed back, and when they moved forward, we were always caught out when the other teams counter-attack. There was always a majority in terms of number of players from the other teams, from the opposition in midfield. We didn't have a player on the pitch in midfield doing both phases, box 2, box 1. We lack of one currently in the squad. And that's why. So I'll prefer a more pragmatic manager. I think Brendan Rodgers is a pragmatic manager, honestly.
I would say he's the most pragmatic. But exactly. That's why I don't get why we were playing McKennie in a holding 2 midfield. The only one it would work with is Tyler Adams, who is naturally a defensive midfielder. McKennie has played in attacking midfield, and he's played on the wing in his career. So I don't know who the hell was thinking that this guy is defensively solid enough to put in a partnership with Roca. But I agree with most of what you say, aside from one point, comparing Bielsa to Jesse Marsh there. I mean, that's like comparing a bottle of Lamborghini with a fine Merlot. I mean, it's a bit
he was saying
that one.
No, he was saying that we always compared it to Bielsa's brand of football.
Oh, exactly. But even
how bad it was.
We made a confrontation. Not saying they were the same, of course. Marsh's one was a narrow style of football. Marcelo's style was an attacking, exciting.
Martial's football would put a glass eye to sleep. Let's call a spade here. It wasn't exactly. I mean, actually, I found Sam Allardyce's football arguably more exciting and entertaining than anything that we had seen under Marsh or Javi Gracia, which is really, really saying something because Marsh.
Yeah, apart from the Spurs game.
Yeah,
apart from the Spurs game, I agree with you.
Oh yeah, man. I clocked out after about 30 minutes in that game. Once we conceded and Leicester went up like 1-2-0, I was like, oh, this is done. This is ropes.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, look, big Sam's gone, and I think it's the right decision. I have no ill feeling towards Big Sam. I actually quite liked his openness, his frankness. He cut through the BS, if you like, when asked questions in press conferences, and I like that about him. But I do think, as much as he disagrees with this, his time has come in football. I do think it has evolved from being more, it's not just about creating environments anymore and make it. Of course, sports psychology plays a big part, but I think the managers and the coaches of today, tactically, are just levels above whatever was.
I mean, he was a bit of a revolutionary tactically. He doesn't get the credit when he was the first one to bring the bird's eye guy looking over and looking at the whole pitch and giving that kind of viewing. I see. The thing is, there's two things in that kind of environment. You want a guy who's relaxed, that isn't too emotionally invested, because it kind of takes the pressure off the team a little bit. But at the same time, I feel like he was there just to piss about, just to have a bit of a laugh. I'm sat there bricking it. And it's just such an intense situation. Leeds have 4 games to go. We're trying to survive. And he's there picking up £5 notes, having a joke with the official about fucking bribing him. Yeah. I'm kind of like, well, this is a bit too serious of a situation. It's like it's like going to a funeral and start cracking up a stand-up set. It's not really the time and the place to do that. Yeah,
on Sunday too, when Alisson scored, he went, the camera pointed out at him, and he was like, yeah. Mate, we're 2-1 behind. Leicester are winning. Everton are winning. There's no chance we're staying up yet. There's no chance
he's got to show a little bit of positivity, but
sometimes I mix up the words.
Who do you guys? You guys
right.
want then?
You were right.
Who would you want, Joe?
I think at this point, of course there are
Rodgers, Coburn,
No, so I'm not even thinking about Rodgers. If I could choose, it would be Rodgers. But the reason I'm not thinking about Rodgers is because I just think he's not going to come to the Championship. It's not going to happen.
But who in the Prem is going to want to hire him right now? Let's be real.
Yeah, but it's not even about right now, JT. I think Brendan will sit, because the first job that becomes available for Brendan in the Premier League, when someone's sacked, they will go straight to him. So I think for me personally, they will. They'll move on. We'll move on from. Listen, will you sit still? Right, I'm trying to talk, and you're moving around.
Guy said there was a spider that ran.
Yeah, well, he's talking rubbish, and you're not scared of spiders, are you?
I can't stand them. Are you kidding me?
Really? Oh, I'm not too fussed on spiders. Anyway, back to my point before you started going on like a child.
Hey.
I think for me, it's going to be Carlos Corberán. I think Corberán, for whatever reason, people say he's not all that, but he did great at Huddersfield on a limited budget. He did great at West Brom on a limited budget, came in and won, I think, 12 out of his first 15 games. And I think the end of the season didn't go well, but there was injuries that caused that. And I think with the financial issues at West Brom currently, I think it's going to be easy for us to get him out of there. And, me and Andrea were chatting about it earlier and saying that I think it gets the fans on board pretty quickly.
Yeah, it would be something to appease the fan base too, in terms of PR communication, if you look at that side of things. Honestly, like Joe said, he had a great season at Huddersfield. Yeah. They were robbed of a penalty in the playoff final against Forest. Uh-huh. They played a very good football with Lewis O'Brien in midfield, Harry Toffolo, and they both went to Forest. Yeah. This season he started at the Olympiacos. He wasn't to be. It was a different environment, different from the English league. You mean, if you look at his curriculum was now his CV. After he left Bielsa's shadow, he's always had good seasons, actually. This season he had a good season. Then after he renewed the contract with West Brom, because he was like the first man that came up after Jesse Marsh was sacked. It was the first name coming out from the reports. Then West Brom offered him a new contract. He accepted the offer, 3 years contract, if I remember correctly. And after that, the results weren't great enough like they were in the first half of the season. But I think it will certainly be a move that will get some appreciation from the fans looking at the playing side of the things. Because, like I said before, my opinion on the ownership remains the same, even if we get promoted to the Premier League. But
does that really get the fans on side though?
I think if the 49ers come in and make that appointment, 100%. I even think if Radrizzani comes in, it'll still be looked on, or stays, sorry, it'll be looked on with... What's the word I'm looking for?
If he stays,
I know.
How can you... I know he bought it and he can do what he wants with it. Technically, it's his property. But how can you put Leeds' stadium as collateral for your new purchase? And especially with the dangerous situation that Serie A is in with their lack of money and their lack of funding. Anything could go wrong with any second with Sampdoria. So to put Leeds' the whole thing that got him on side with the fans in the first place is his first big act was, I'm going to go and take a loan out or whatever the hell it was to buy the stadium so that you can finally own it. And now it turns out, we don't own the stadium. He owns it, and he's going to use it as flipping leverage to go and buy another club. Every single bit. I've been so reluctant to turn on him because I have so much love for him. So much love. I still remember the championship days where he first brought Bielsa in. He's rocking up to Ellen Road looking like straight out of Men in Black with his shades on and his suit. And I'm like, this guy is the Don. Finally, someone I can get behind. But the things he's been doing recently, not even turning up to the last game of the season, going straight out of the club, using our stadium as collateral, I think he's taking the piss a bit now, if I'm being honest. And it's going to take a hell of a lot to get the fans back on side. I think you're going to have to completely take the takeover through.
JT, for me, he'll never get the fans back after this.
That's what I mean. He has to
absolutely
get the 49ers in to get the fans back invested in the club. But even then, a lot of fans were questionable about the 49ers anyway, about whether they have the best interests of Leeds at heart. We don't know. We still don't know. Because we haven't known in the past year, sorry to cut you off, we haven't known if the decisions are 49ers based or if they're Radrizzani based. We don't know who's actually making the final call on all these things. So we're just confused right now.
I guess the majority owner. The majority owner, because he has more shares in the club and he has the final word. And regarding to the situation of who is holding the majority of the shares. So, of course, in my opinion, the last call, the final word, is always from the majority owner in a club.
Mm-hmm. I think for me now it's time to hear from the 49ers. What I don't understand is why they haven't said anything. Mm-hmm. They've not said nothing. Like, why? What are they? I don't know. Are they not allowed to say something? Is there a non-disclosure agreement signed? I just don't get it. Why they haven't come out to distance themselves even from this leveraging of Ellen Road. Even a quick statement. You can't tell me the 49ers Enterprises don't have a PR section of the company where they can just put out and just say, we just want to make it known that we are doing our best to try and acquire the football club, and we, had no knowledge of what has gone on. I know, like Jack says, Joe, what do you want them to say? Anything. My answer is anything.
There's a lot of legal situations going on, though, so it's very hard to speak when there's You know, there's lawyers involved, there's lawsuits, there's 1,000,001 different pieces of paperwork and things going on. So it's easier said than done to come out and speak when you're trying to acquire a multi-million-pound business, because that's what it is nowadays. This ain't a football club, it's a business. That's football, plain and simple. So I don't know if I'd be too harsh on them. I think they should have come out a lot more in the season, which is why I know you're saying Radrizzani had the final say on decisions, and yes, he did, but he could also, I think, with a lot of the things that have happened, been pressurized by the 49ers throughout the year to make certain calls. And I think that's, you know, I don't agree or see why they've been so quiet about things.
Yeah, but now considering especially what happened with the Alan Ross situation, where like before you jump in the podcast in the show on the show, we said with Joe they have the 22% of Alan Road Limited.
Yeah.
So they weren't informed by Rads about what was happening with the Alan Road situation, trying to secure a bond loan in order to acquire Sampdoria. So now is their chance to speak, because their business partner wasn't fair to them, right? Yeah. So it's their chance. The majority of the fan base is calling for them to take over. Why are they not saying anything, making them plans clear, their intention clear? Do they want to stay as minority owners? Do they want to acquire another club? Because there were rumors of them dealing and negotiating with Sheffield United. Do they want to take over the majority? We don't know. We've not heard from a very long time from Parag Marathe or another representative like Jed York of the 49er investment fund. So it's all quiet from the side of things, and it shouldn't be, because Rads and Iser have spoken through a statement. They should do the same, maybe, making their intentions clear.
Exactly. That's what I mean. We need something.
It's tragic, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's tragic. 2024. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people seem to have forgotten about it. I don't hear a lot of people speaking about it. 3-4 years ago, he got promoted. They said by 2024 we're gonna make this Super Bowl, a bowl stadium, Ellen Road. We're going to revamp it, 55,000, 60,000 seats. Come 2023-24, when we're meant to have those 60,000 seats, instead, we have our stadium being flipping leveraged to buy an Italian club. We ain't got no extra seats. In fact, probably less seats. The stadium's probably in worse condition than it was 3 years ago. And now we don't even own it anymore.
Yeah, and getting a ticket, even if you have a membership, is a nightmare with the system of the memberships. If you try to secure a ticket for match day, and we've read also from the LUFC Trust that the match day experience at the stadium, the supposed plan to, like you said, in 2023, the stadium we should have known about the plan to make an expansion, to rebuild it. Instead, we're talking about the decrease in the match day experience, like the LUFC Trust said in their statement.
Yeah. Let me just quickly get some super chats that have come in. Toby Ward says, it's all about the money at the end of the day, 100%. Joe Madigan, nothing. Alex Smith says £4.49. $4.99. I've also got to send that to you, Andrea. Okay, so I've got to send you £4.99. All right, as an appeal.
Are you sure he wasn't talking about me? He was,
probably by JT.
Nah, when he said he's been brilliant, that's when I lost it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Alex. You put a super chat. I do read super chats, but when you put them in like Joe did, like this, I don't know what you want me to say. So, don't have a go at me, please, in the comments. And Alex says, defo not JT coming in there. So, I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can wire £4.99 over to Andrea. Thank you for that, Alex.
I'll send it. I'll bridge it. just so that there's limited liability.
Exactly.
I've just known him now for about 20 minutes probably, but now so far I find you very frank when you speak and very straightforward in your opinion, and that's good.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks very much.
Hats off for that.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
No worries. That is good. He talks a lot of rubbish, though, Andrea.
By the time you get to 40 minutes, you're going to want to rip my head off. So, enjoy the 20 minutes while it's here.
What we'll do is, with Alex's 49 is we'll leverage JT against that 4.99. Yeah, so that if anything happens to it, then JT's culpable for it. Alex,
okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, Jack B says this. Jack B says it was reported that the 49ers had hoped to complete the takeover this week. And to be honest, while I was doing the dog walk, just before I came on here, I was listening to the Inside Ellen Road podcast with Graham Smith and Joe Donahue. And they basically said this. I wish they'd have reported it, though, rather than after the fact, because they were told that the 49ers were looking to complete the takeover by the end of this week. But now, obviously, all this has happened. We just don't know where we go. And the issue is, we're running out of time. The 4th of August isn't that far away, really, when you consider in that time, Leeds United have to get a director of football, get a manager in, then sell players, then bring players in, then go on pre-season. And before you know it, it's the start of the season.
Exactly.
And in the championship, you need to be ready because you're playing 46 games. It's a long slog.
Exactly. But yeah, we have no director of football, right? Yeah. Like you said, we have key appointments, like Radrizzani said in his statement, to make before the start of the season. So today, who was the person that spoke actually at the club that had the appointment with Sam Allardyce? Yeah. Was it Kinnear?
Yeah, exactly. It probably was Kinnear, but yeah, you're right.
But he's the CEO, not the director of football.
Yeah. Who's made that decision?
Competencies on the financial side of the club, not the sporting side. But he's making right now sporting decision if that is the case.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The director
makes you wonder. It does make you wonder how they came to that decision, though. So they must have spoken, right? That's a good point. Like they must have spoken today. All the different parts of our ownership in order to tell Sam we don't need his services anymore. They must have spoken. So what now? This is the thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. Right now, if you look at the club officials, the only club official operating is Angus Kinnear. There's no director of football right now. There's no manager. The scouting system, the scouting system was, of course, formed by Victor Orta. So with his exit, a new scouting system has to be formed to replace the former one because Gabi Ruiz left, if I remember correctly. So the sporting side is in shambles right now.
Yeah, it is.
And considering there's no director of football, probably Angus Kinnear was the one speaking with Sam Allardyce today, or directly the owners, the two owners. But the CEO should be focused with his competencies, especially on the financial, marketing, and branding side, the running of daily operations of the club structure and organization. The director of football should be the one making the calls, of course, and with the supervision, of course, of the CEO and the ownership, because the CEO has to overlook all the areas of the club, the different areas, the youth academy, the communication side of the club, the marketing area, the community, the charity, the Leeds United Foundation. But the director of football specifically should be the one making the calls about the management. I'm happy Sam Allardyce is not staying, but that call should have been made by the new director of football. Southampton have already lined up a new director of football.
Yeah, they have. Jason Wilcox, isn't it, as well, who used to play for
former
Leeds
Leeds.
Yeah. The mad thing is, do you think there's a situation where we don't get a director of football?
No, not in today's day and age, and certainly not if the 49ers have any say to do with it. If it is meant to be built in the 49ers mold, and everything I've been told from American people that know stuff about Prag Mahathis, he's meant to be, quite a revolutionary in terms of his sporting outlook and expertise. So obviously a director of football is the way to go in today's day and age of football. managers come and go. Like it's so fickle. It's so thick and fast. You could be gone within 3-4 weeks. So you need someone to oversee an entire an entire system. But I mean, it's not filling me with any confidence. The names we're linked with, both director of football wise and managerial wise. Like it was only a few months ago we're talking about Iriolas and Arne Slots, and now we're looking down the barrel. Like the only ones that actually fill me with any kind of confidence is a Carlos Goberan, is maybe a Brendan Rodgers, who even, a couple of months ago had kind of, been like, okay, let's steer clear of someone like Brendan Rodgers. So I don't even know, like, is there any director of football? Is there anyone there that's actually filling you with any optimism to go forward out there?
I know not a lot of people are on board with it, but Stuart Webber, who was at Norwich, is a Leeds United fan. Maybe him and Corberan, or there's the guy at Middlesbrough, Kieran Scott, who brought in Michael Carrick, but also worked under Stuart Webber whilst at Norwich as well before he moved to Middlesbrough. Them names have been mentioned. I think it might be good to get someone that has a grounding in English football as well.
Absolutely.
I think especially with us being in the Championship, we can't go out on a wing and a prayer, signing players all from across Europe. We need to look at some homegrown, and I don't say that from a Brexit standpoint. I say it is like, this is, you know what I mean, though, because people would easily think,
I want a hard Brexit.
Yes, exactly. I mean, we just need players with some Championship experience.
Yeah, you need some Brits. Yeah, preferably some bold English geezers, 6 foot plus, nice and stocky. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean, though. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah, you do want some experience. I mean, I think the big thing is
Joe Farage.
No, to be fair, Farage was a bit of an underrated tactician himself in his days. But no, I think in his heyday. But no, I think it's more of a case of who we keep rather than who we sign in terms of next season, the quality of the players that we're keeping. Because these Premier League players, a lot of them should, in fact, tear up the Championship. Someone like Jorginho Rata, I'm actually expecting big things from him in the Championship if we are going to stay. With the money that we spent on him, we really need him to come good and deliver in the Championship. And he has all the physical attributes too. Like, he is decently strong. He can use both feet. He is quick. He's got good hold-up play. Not amazing hold-up play, but he's decent. He's able to hold off a man, shield it, and spin him behind. So I think with the right development, if he can learn the language and become more comfortable, he could be a good player to keep for the Championship. I think someone like Somerville is imperative that we keep. And I think he would absolutely tear the league up. So we have quality players in there. I think, like you say, maybe we need to bring in another midfielder if we lose McKennie, if we lose Rocker. A couple, yeah. JB, do you think JB can do?
Oh, no, yeah. Of course, they can do jobs. I don't doubt that. I want someone with a bit of experience.
A little bit of experience, yeah. Centre-half position as well, because we'll probably lose Koch. Cooper's not going to be able to do 46 games.
No.
Are we going to be able to keep Voba?
I think so. The chat is... Maybe I don't even rate him that much anyway. I think we gassed him up because everyone else is so bad.
No, I actually think
when he first came in.
I actually think he'll be solid in the Championship.
Honestly, in the Championship for sure. Yeah, I think even Christensen will look good in the Championship, and he's rubbish.
One I would like to see, especially we should look players coming on loan from Premiership club.
Oh,
I would like to see Callum Doyle. He played at Coventry this season, and last season he was in League One with Sunderland. I think he's a good prospect. Dan Ballard too from Sunderland is another good player, I think. But probably
you've got quite an extensive knowledge of talent ID of young players, haven't you? I was looking on the on your Twitter and that. You have though, Andrea, right? You watch a fair few players. There was
a head of youth development, if you will.
Exactly. Yeah, you should get the job, Andrea. But there has been a few. You're right. I think the players we need to be looking at are players from the likes of City, players from the likes of Chelsea, for example. Look at Sheffield United with James McAtee this season, for example.
Exactly.
You know, so
exactly Tommy Doyle.
Yeah,
they brought in James McAtee, Tommy Doyle, and
What about the players that we loaned out? What about the Joffrey Gelhards?
I would keep him actually, surely.
Charlie Cresswell.
Yeah, I'd keep Cresswell.
Probably right now is the one that has the has developed the least.
Who
compared to Cresswell, compared to Joffrey? Yeah.
I think I heard a lot when he first went to Millwall. Everyone was ranting and raving about him, and then he did kind of like fall off the boil a little bit.
Yeah,
Millwall fans were telling me.
But both for Shaq's too. Also.
How could I forget? Yeah, Tyler Roberts. We are sorted, mate. Tyler Roberts is back. Oh, he's
Bielsa's favorite player.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, and my favorite player, Jack. You're not back, and you're not gonna get me with that. Tyler Roberts, huh?
Do you really rate him, or is just
Tyler Roberts?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Tyler Roberts. He is quality.
Explain me why.
He's about okay. Look, he's about as consistent as pigeon shit on Trafalgar Square. Yeah, sometimes he looks like he's got Stevie Wonder shades on.
That's very consistent, though.
Yeah, well, consistent.
Yeah, that didn't work, did it?
No, it isn't. It isn't. I wouldn't say it's that consistent, mate. But it's
okay.
It goes with the weather sometimes. But when he's on form, when he can actually get a few games under his belt, he is one of the most technically able players in the squad. I said that year he was there, he was third best behind maybe Rodrigo and Rafinha. But aside from that, I had him as third best technically at the club. He can score wonder goals. He's got great technical ability, dribbling, his touch is silky.
Andrea, you'll realise he's a little bit crazy.
No, he is. He's a very technical player. It's just he goes missing, and his day comes few and far between.
I'll reply to him in a bit.
On his day, you can't dispute that he's had some wonderful performances out of this world.
No, he hasn't.
Chelsea won last year. Okay, he hasn't had a Blackpool performance like Firpo did, but he great performance against Chelsea. QPR, he had that great game beginning here where he scored a couple of rockets. The guy on his day is very good.
JT,
he's just very injury prone and inconsistent.
Do you rate Roberts more or Poveda then?
Roberts more than Poveda. And that's not even controversial, because what has Poveda realistically done for Leeds? He had that one game against Chelsea where he should have gone down in the box and he didn't, and we ended up losing 2-1. Aside from that, what has Poveda actually done? And he just for me is someone that's slightly too injury
right now. I respect what you said about Roberts, but I think in that position, Greenwood has more potential than him right now in the squad.
Oh, that's fair enough.
I think Roberts, we should look to sell him because he didn't have a good season. He had some injury problems too at QPR this season. But maybe to a championship side fighting to avoid relegation or just looking for a mid-table finish, he probably will find his trust and believe in himself again. He just needs, like you said, he just needs some good run in the league to regain the trust in his skills. But he is stuck in limbo, in my opinion. He started out as a striker, then was moved back as a second striker, advanced midfielder, played on the wing too. So he needs, first of all, to realize what kind of position suits him best, and maybe find a championship side that will need him in that position. I think the advanced midfielder position is the best one for him, because under Bielsa he had some good games in that position in the early seasons, not in the first season in the Premier League for sure. He developed a little bit in that season, but last season he was terrible. He had some injury setbacks too, but he didn't progress. I expected him to progress a bit, considering that he had shown some little developments the season before, but last season was a major setback for him actually.
Yeah, I don't rate him at all. John Parkin says apparently Elon Musk has a soft spot for Leeds. Yeah, well, anyone at this point is better than what we've got. Listen, folks, we've nearly done an hour, and I'm yawning like a good one. I keep going like this. Every time I go like this, it's because I'm going behind my thing. I'm a very tired man. Friday, listen, the way this week has gone, you just don't know what's coming around the corner. So, like, make sure you've got notifications on, because I'm expecting something else will happen tomorrow.
Well, I don't know from Rad's perspective. I don't know, because tomorrow is the Day of the Republic in Italy, so it's a bank holiday, and the working places are closed. So probably tomorrow will be a more quiet day compared to
from the 49ers.
From the 49ers, yeah, probably. But you know, it's never a dull day without with Leeds United if you support Leeds United. So.
No. But we need to see some positive news coming out soon, I think, because like you said, this championship season's coming very, very soon.
Yes, not far.
Surely not positive news tonight for Cellino.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to talk about that. Cellino's...
Did you see the images?
I have, yeah. The ultras and stuff were getting involved in everything.
They invaded the pitch with sticks, fought with the police, through pyros, and they had to suspend the match, and it was eventually called off. So they will get a very long and prolonged FT ban for the stadium, and a very heavy penalty in terms of money. Yeah, Cellino wasn't at the stadium, actually.
Not surprised. Surprised.
Because yesterday the Brescia Ultras had put some banners up in the city in Brescia, saying either it's Serie B or either it's Serie C, Cellino, you won't be. It's important. You won't be there next season, or you won't be there at the game too. They meant it too. And another banner said, "Pack your bags and get out of the club."
Hey, he's probably still stuck in court, to be honest. Guy had more court cases than managers, and that's really saying something. But man, I mean, I thought Radrizzani. I thought finally, we got a good Italian. We got someone that's actually going to have the best interests of the club in heart. But that hasn't turned out very well.
About Radrizzani, we were speaking about it earlier, and the Repubblica, one of the main Italian newspaper, said today that probably one of the contenders for the director of football position at Sampdoria is Fabio Paratici, the former Tottenham transfer man, who is currently under a ban after the capital gains scandal of Juventus.
Wow!
Not what the criminal guy.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, bloody brilliant, mate! From one criminal to another. What's going on here, man?
And another important thing, and that is related to Leeds too. In Leeds, Rad spoke about key appointments and making those key appointments soon. You know, they're reporting in general that he's having a meeting this week with one of their 3 current director of football on the payroll at Sampdoria, which is named Mattia Baldini. They have 3 directors of football. 2 have been sacked, Faggiano and Osti. So they're not working for the club. They're just at home, but they are on the payroll of Sampdoria. And the current one, Mattia Baldini, will have reportedly a meeting with Raz in Italy. But all the 3 of them are out of contract in the summer. So maybe a late move for Victor Olta next season at Sampdoria, despite the links to Espanyol.
Imagine that.
I thought I wanted that one out.
No, I wouldn't either. No, I wouldn't. Definitely not. I when you were saying that, I thought you were going to tell us that we were going to get one of the Sampdoria sporting directors. Then I was going to go, oh, no. I can't cope with that. But listen.
Faggiano is a bit of a journeyman. He worked for Parma, Genoa. He moved from Genoa to Sampdoria directly.
Okay. I've just searched the Phil Hay stuff. I've not seen anyone. Someone keeps saying Phil Hay tonight saying the 49ers still wanted to take over. I've not seen anything, and there's nothing on Twitter.
I mean, surely they still should be. I mean, they're getting us for even cheaper.
Yeah, I think it was more like more up to date news, but I've just checked Twitter and there's nothing on there, so that must just been from this morning. Listen, folks, please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit the notification bell. Make sure you check out JT's YouTube channel, and of course make sure you check out Andrea on Twitter. I'll probably be back at some point tomorrow, depending on what the news is. I'm working tomorrow as well till 11 p.m, so it might be another late one. But listen, everyone, yeah, hold on to your hats because there'll probably be some more news very, very soon. Hopefully a little bit more positive. Andrea, you enjoy the Italian Independence Day thingy.
Day of the Republic. Yeah,
the Day of the
Did you
Republic.
actually live in Italy?
Yeah, I live in Italy.
Your English is very good, I have to say.
I try to, but like I said with Joe, I don't have often the opportunity to practice it, but because of course I search on the internet in English, I watch movies and videos on YouTube always in English, so it's all homework, like apart from what I did at school actually. So apart from the foreign customers that arrive at work. I don't have much opportunities to speak about to speak in English actually. So sometimes it gets better. Sometimes I have some setbacks, but
no, it's great.
It is, man. It's for someone that's
it's all for the learning, you know. It's all there for the taking.
No, I gotta say it's phenomenal because like I don't even have to slow down when I'm speaking or anything. And
exactly,
and I understand everything from you. I understand everything from you. Yeah, I have a little bit of a call today. That's why I'm. Sometimes I'm mixed up because I have a little bit of cold. I'm allergic to pollution, so sometimes I have to speak slowly.
Well, the verbal pollution that this guy comes out with might cause you some problems.
Right, we will leave it there, folks. Make sure you follow everyone, and we'll see you on the other side. Thank you.